Work with me. Oh, I didn't realize to start. Sorry about that. It didn't say I had to get up and do so. Anyways, how you do, Buckaroos? All right, sorry for that start. Nevertheless, fuck, I'm having some issues getting this thing going today. Anyway, I've been doing a lot of videos lately, and I was having some issues getting my stand to work for some reason. That it got twisted here, and I can't seem to get it back to where it was. It's getting this weird glare off my window there. Anyways, how are you? And make sure this is working. I got a couple things here. So I picked up over the weekend. I picked up a Cherry Jubilee's ale from Boulevard Brewing that I'll show you. But I also picked up some other things that I'll talk to you about here. There we go. Well, at least we're running, anyways. Picked up this Cherries Jubilee quad. So it's barrel aged cherry ale, Belgian style quad, and it comes in at 12.9%. I've got most of it poured. Boy, I really couldn't look at see that color, but right there, you could really see that nice ruby hue too. Let me see if I can get the rest of that beer in there. Let me show you that bottle one more time before I set it down. Let's just see that 12.9 there. There we go. And cilantro. Oh wow, the nose on that is crazy good. So I also picked up some. We went to the city market and they had this one store had a lot of bulk items. It was it was a Middle Eastern store, I believe. And it was set up kind of like a marketplace kind of store. There's just stuff everywhere. Anyways, I picked up several things, but one of the things I picked up was some sour cherries. So I did a sour cherry vanilla simple to do a Cherries Jubilee cocktail to go with this Cherries Jubilee ale. But I'm going to have the beer first, and then we'll have the cocktail. Oh my God, that's delicious. You do feel that quad, those barrel-aged notes. Right there at the end, you get that lingering cherry note. We also stopped at Trader Joe's, which was the main reason for us to go up to Kansas City last weekend to grab some stuff for the holidays. So we grabbed a few things, but like I said, I grabbed those cherries at an open market there. Oh man. My wife bought a lot of stuff or got some stuff at a thrift store, and she wasn't planning on me using this area today, and I kind of forgot she had stuff scattered everywhere. I was going to use my wall there, but I didn't like the way it was coming out. So then, well, let me put a background on my television set. But anyway, then I had to move some stuff around, and nevertheless, we don't care. We don't care, Tom. But it did work today. Just got home a little bit ago. Got some dinner started, but now it's just kind of simmering. I wanted to get that started so I could sit and relax and have a beer and a cocktail with you before I finish it all up. Oh my gosh, the flavors here are amazing. It is 12.9%. And in all honesty, you cannot taste it. It is nowhere near hot. If someone were to take a drink of this, oh, that's hot, I would say, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. No, it is just incredibly easy to drink. Oh man. Just there we go. Keep trying to get that right angle, and I can't seem to find a happy medium to say. One of those things. Just can't seem to get it in the right spot today. Oh, oh man, that is just delicious. I told a friend the other day they do a kind of an informal bottle share on Saturdays. I told him I'd bring some stuff to him, but then I forgot I'd already had plans. I told a different friend that I'd go to a football game with. Then I forgot it, so I got to tell the one friend, "Oh, I'm not going to actually show up Saturday because I forgot I'd already made plans to do that. I kind of it slipped my mind." Oh man, I actually picked this beer up at Trader Joe's. I bought some of their beers, right? The beers that are brewed specifically for Trader Joe's, but they also had some other things there, like this one. And oddly enough, I mean, this was what I think it was $12.99 for the 4 pack, so that wasn't bad. I haven't seen this one here, but others of that same style run about $14.99 here. So some of the products are more inexpensive at Trader Joe's. Oh. I'm looking forward to trying to get to that cocktail, but I don't want to hurry this either. So I just did a quick version of it, right? I will do a fancier version at another time, but I just did a quick version using some already blended spiced whiskey I got at Trader Joe's. Kind of had the ingredients of like a spiced old fashioned. So I just took that and then I added at 1 ounce of that sour cherry vanilla simple syrup that I was telling you about. And then I also soaked some of those sour cherries in some Grand Marnier. So I took 2 of those cherries, put them in the cocktail, and about a 1/4 ounce, just a nice splash of that Grand Marnier as well in there. I was 21 the first time I'd had Grand Marnier. Never heard of it because it's certainly not something my parents would have had. But somebody I worked with at the time, he was a little bit on the uppity side, even though we were cleaning carpets. There's no reason for him to be uppity, but he liked to talk about, how he was raised, very wealthy, or how much money he had at one point in his life. Okay, well, he liked to tell people he was still wealthy, but there would have been no reason for him to be doing that if he really was. But nevertheless, every once in a while, we'd all, well, usually about 2 or 3 times a week, we'd hang out in the parking lot and just get inordinately hammered. And most of us were just drinking cheap beer or cheap whiskey at the time. Usually, if we're bringing good whiskey, it was Jim Beam or Jack Daniels because that's what we consider good whiskey at the time. I'm talking, I was only 21 back in 1986. But anyway, this one guy would get a bottle of Grand Marnier and we pass it around and drink it like hobos. And it was the first time I'd ever had it. Oh, that ain't bad. Then he tell me the price, and it was like twice the price of my Jim Beam. I said, "Oh yeah, probably not. I probably ain't gonna do that." But now that I'm older and I drink more for quality than quantity, my perspective is a little different now than it was back then. Oh gosh, I hope I can find this beer here, or I'm gonna really regret not buying 2 4 packs. It is delicious. In fact, I almost didn't buy this one because I'm not a big cherry guy, but I was real curious about it. I love a quad, though. I'm a big quad fan, and I loved anything barrel aged. So I was okay. Well, it's that time of the year, Tom. Go ahead, suck it up. Just suck it up, man. So anyway, oh, but it is absolutely delicious, man. So a beer like this really is optimal at about 55, 60 degrees. I did not have this beer in the refrigerator. I actually had it in my garage, but it has been cooling down. And so I don't know the actual temp of this beer, but I feel like I got it exactly right. Usually I hate when people say room temp. Drink it at room temp because nothing should ever be drank at room temp. When they say room temp, what they really mean is cellar temp. Cellar temp is anywhere between, or typically anyway, between 50 and 60 degrees. And again, I like to say what's room temp in, say, Germany is different than room temp in, say, Phoenix. Yeah, you just want a little bit of chill on this. You don't want it 75, 80 degrees, but about anywhere between 50 to 60. I'd say 55 is optimal. And I feel like that's exactly where this is because it's drinking so smooth and elegant right now. Like I said, I would never guess if somebody just handed me this beer right now and I had not known anything about it. It was a beautiful cherry quad. I'd probably guess it at about 7.5 to 8%. Only because the style is typically higher in ABV, but there's no way I'd ever guess this is 12.9% because you can't taste that at all. There is nothing hot about it. You're not tasting any alcohol notes at all. It is just simply gorgeous. And Boulevard is kind of known for that. And some of this series I like better than others. But this one, wow. This beer is just beyond exquisite. It is incredible. Okay, so I have to jump off camera for a second to grab my cocktail. I will be right back. Okay, so here's what I did here. Here's the Grand Marnier I wanted to show you. It's about a small bottle of that at the Trader Joe's. But yeah, like I said, I want to do a fancy version of it with a very good whiskey, but I want to do something quickly. And I had this whiskey chilled, which is one of the reasons because I just wanted, like I said, need to set this up quickly, get it done, so I can get to my food. But anyways, so it's Trader Joe's. It's a spice whiskey at 60%, or I'm sorry, 30%. So it's 60 proof. I'm gonna set that down. I was having trouble reading that there. Get some light here. Bourbon whiskey with spices, orange, molasses, and other natural flavors. So that lends me to believe it's kind of like like a fall old fashioned already pre-mixed. I wish I had about a couple of these though. They only had it in a small bottle. Because I had some I just had some chill last night and it was pretty good on its own. The serving suggestion I didn't read here. Let's see if I'm anywhere close. Enjoy your favorite whiskey cocktails for a festive twist or simply over ice. Yeah, either way would work. It's very easy to drink. And it's already, I mean, it's only 60 proof, so keep that in mind. So again, I got about 2.5 ounces of that whiskey. I got 1 ounce of my sour cherry vanilla simple, a couple Grand Marnier soaked sour cherries, and just a splash, probably about a 1/4 ounce of Grand Marnier in there. I want a little bit of that orange going on. Oh my good Lord, that's delicious. Now I'm a cask whiskey guy. I do like a higher proof. I would like to try this with a couple other, maybe not necessarily cask whiskeys, but I've got this one that might be ideal to try it with. Like I said, I just slapped this together quickly, but I got this Traverse City whiskey. This is a barrel proof cherry whiskey that I think would be beautiful for this particular cocktail. To do a Cherries Jubilee with a cherry whiskey. Oh, but like I said, just want to do a quick version just to get like a, get a baseline, if you will. If I will what, Tom? Anyway, believe it or not, this is my first alcohol tonight, that beer than this. I was working, man, but I am off tomorrow, so that, but I haven't been doing the Tuesday videos like I had in the past. I've been kind of just taking it easy lately. And then weekend before there was stuff going on, so I didn't do a video. And I was so tired last Friday, I didn't even drink. But then, like I said, we went up to Kansas City. But so I've been kind of cutting back on the live video. But I enjoy doing the live videos because it was like the start of this one. I mean, it's warts and all, right? And I'm all about transparency. Just do a nice video, man. Just talk, relax. And I don't like the extremely polished videos where you could tell they edited the mother humper out of it, right? That's why I like the live videos. It is what it is, man. Good, bad, or good, bad, or ugly. I hope Clint Eastwood doesn't sue me for that reference, but nevertheless. And not for nothing. Not for nothing. Of course, Clint became the star. But in my opinion, in my most humble of opinions, I think Lee Van Cleef should have been a star. I think he was a much better actor. Go back and watch the movie. You'll see what I mean. Go back and watch everything with Lee Van Cleef in it. He was a much better actor, but nevertheless. Clint Eastwood had that sound, that look, but as far as being a versatile actor, I'm going to say no. But he knew his audience, he knew his market. He also knew how to sell a pretentious film. Anyways, but I digress. Lee Van Cleef, look it up. Controversial sometimes on social media. I'll do a possibly controversial opinion of the day. Maybe I'll post that one next. Lee Van Cleef was a much better actor. He should have been a spaghetti western star, by golly, and he did star in several. But Clint was the breakout star of that genre. And on the same vein, man, Eli Wallach was a much better actor than Clint Eastwood. Eli should have got, at the very least, he should have got an Oscar nomination for The Holiday and several other movies before that. But he was so brilliant in that film, man. Eli Wallach, man. Often overlooked, but he was a great actor. The three stars, the three main characters in Good, Bad, the Ugly, and in my opinion, the other two were much better actors than Clint. Anyways, I digress. Kind of got off track there, but sometimes I do that. I like the way those cherries came out. I will tell you though that. So I just made that simple today, and I let it sit as long as I could. As long as I could before I had to go to work. But when I bottled it, I did put several of those sour cherries in to keep imparting flavor. So I will say the longer that sits, the better that syrup is going to be. I don't think I'm at its peak right now. Mercy. Anyways, I digress. And I may want to add more later to kind of keep going with it. I'll see what it's like tomorrow. And like I said, I took a handful. Son of a bitch. And I got them soaking in some Grand Marnier, and I took 2 out of them to put in here as a garnish. I might also take some of my good cocktail cherries and put them in the Grand Marnier as well. Phew, son of a biscuit. Son of a bitch, man. Anyways, I've ran this a little bit longer than I need to, and I need to finish up my dinner. So I am Tom the Beer Whisperer, Beer Evangelist, Relevant Beer Drinker, Purveyor of Wisdom, and oh man, that is really nice though. I am curious about having that with this whiskey though. I will be honest though, I bought that whiskey about a month ago, mostly for having it over Thanksgiving, but it is so good. I've drank a whole lot more than I intended on. I'm not quite. I'm just a tad over half, but I did have drank more than so. I may try to wait, but I really want to use that whiskey to do a true Cherries Jubilee because it is really good. Hey, Vanessa, I just noticed your comment there. As I'm getting ready to wrap up, I'm Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, all around good guy. Slouch